Hey everyone, and welcome to The Beatdown! Today was night 1 of Emergence, and I gotta say, it was pretty good. It was a lot of matches, a lot of new rivalries, a lot of new developments took place. And let's start with the first one that I'm very excited about. It was a triple threat match. It was Chris Bey defending his title against Rohit and TJP. What you think about this match?
I think it was a great match. I think TJP definitely shined as bright as he could when he was doing those double submissions on both of his opponents at the same time. That was a very good move, something I haven't really seen by TJP. So it was crazy, it was cool. It was like, wow, he did that.
Definitely, I was talking about TJP and how I wasn't really giving him credit as a competitor, and he wasn't really going to be a threat in the match. But wow, he really took me by surprise. He went into the match and he gave it his all. I really think that he dominated the match, honestly. I saw him doing the most damage against his opponents, hurting them, putting his moves, doing those double submission locks like you said. He was really in it because he wanted to win. And I'm really impressed by TJP, even though I didn't want him to win, but he really gave it his all.
On the other hand, Chris Bey was lacking this match. He wasn't moving too fast, he was kind of slow. He came into this match kind of passive, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think he brought his whole fighting self to this match. Funny thing is, watching this match, I was thinking, like, what is Chris Bey if he can't finesse? Like, if he hadn't finessed his way to the top, he wouldn't have been the champ.
And I'm curious to know why Chris Bey was kind of lacking. Like you said, he didn't really seem like he was trying. Do you think, and I wonder, was he really counting on Rohit having his back? Was he really counting on this being a handicap match and him having Rohit helping him? Did he let his guard down? That's what I'm wondering.
There was a time when Rohit was on the outside of the ropes and Chris Bey pushed TJP into Rohit, causing Rohit to fall off the apron and land on the floor. So when I saw that, I was like, is Chris Bey betraying Rohit, or is, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, okay, he doesn't trust Rohit for sure.
And wow, let's talk about who won the match. I gotta say, when I saw Rohit win, I was really excited and happy for him. I think this is the win, the push that he needs to help him get out from the bottom of the food chain and finally make him into a competitor in Impact.
Well, apparently he's at the top of the food chain now with that championship gold around his waist. I'm surprised that they didn't give him much time to celebrate, or I'd expect a bigger deal out of his victory.
And I mean, it's because you gotta remember, this is a mini pay-per-view, so they don't really go into the storylines too much, because I feel like, this episode, it was just match after match after match. So I think that we'll see more of that after the second night, right? After they're back to their regular show. That's when I think we'll see more character development, more of Rohit being happy and, celebrating his victory.
Now, I remember you were fine with Rohit losing if he helped Chris Bey win. So how do you feel about this?
Well, I mean, like I said, I did want Rohit to win. So I'm excited that he won, and I'm happy that he won. And I'm happy that he decided to be his own person. Kind of like, what EC3 is saying. I think it's starting to rub on the roster, control your narrative. And I think this is what happened in Rohit's case, that he controlled his narrative and he decided, hey, you know what? I'm not going to be the underdog. I'm not going to be at the bottom. I'm going to take matters into my own hand, and I'm going to take the opportunity if it presents itself, and I'm going to win.
And then the other funny thing to me is, when I would see Rohit Raju with the Desi Hit Squad, and to be honest, I don't even remember the other guy's name, because that's how irrelevant I think the other guy was. And I feel like they were just hyping him up because he was a son of Gamma. But I always, when I saw them as a tag team, I always said like Rohit is the better fighter out of him and his former tag team partner. So I think now that he's separated from the rest of the Dusty Hit Squad, he's definitely like better as a solo fighter.
Definitely. He has a new feel to him, and yeah, I think he changed his theme song. He's had it for about a week or two. His theme song now, when he comes out to the ring, it's more of him being independent. You know, he still has that old Desi Hit Squad feel, but now it feels like you can take him much more seriously with his new tone of the song. So I really like that, and you know, I'm really excited about Rohit's win. So if you guys think and you guys are happy with Rohit winning, you guys need to hit that like button below and show support for Rohit. And if you are unhappy with Rohit winning, write it down in the comments. Just write down if Chris Bay should have won or TJP, just their name, and we're gonna be taking a look at it, because I'm very excited to see where this is gonna go, and I can't wait to see what Rohit's gonna do with this opportunity. I really hope he doesn't mess it up.
Yeah, we'll see how long he lasts as champion, because you know Chris Bay had a very short reign. He just won the champion in Slammiversary, I believe it was July 26th, which means he didn't even last a month as the champion.
And I'm surprised that he was only champion for such a little time, because it took him a while to win, right? And it was just came out of nowhere. I wasn't really expecting him to really lose the match today, but you know, Chris Bay is gonna be very upset that he lost, and I wonder what he's gonna do. Is he gonna ask for a title shot again, his rematch clause against Rohit? And I wonder how he's gonna go about doing it. Are the tables gonna turn, and now Chris Bay is gonna try and get an opportunity at the title again?
I mean, you never really know when it's Chris Bay. You definitely can't trust him.
I'm gonna give this match a thumbs up, because I'm very excited with the winner.
It was a good match, you know, not even just because of the winner. It would have been a thumbs up regardless of the winner.
And next up, we have Wrestle House. We had Taya versus Kylie, and I gotta say, the match was actually pretty good. I wasn't expecting to take it too seriously, but they really tried their hardest in the ring. I really saw some back and forth action between both of them, and I'm happy to see that Kylie is going up against a serious competitor like Taya. So I'm excited to see that Kylie is going up against a tough competitor like Taya Valkyrie. You know, it really is going to give her some credibility for when she fights for the Knockouts Championship.
Yeah, it was, you know, I think Kylie Ray definitely won some bragging rights after this one, because last week on Wrestle House, Taya was telling her, you've never defeated a champion. So I think now Kylie Ray definitely has defeated a former champion, and she now has that bragging rights.
And how about Larry D? I'm kind of curious to see...
Lawrence. Apparently he's Lawrence D now in his little lover mood.
How about Lawrence D, Larry D? I'm interested to see where this is going with Rosemary, because Larry hasn't really had a storyline since he came into Impact. He kind of just became a tag team with AC, and even as a tag team, they haven't had really a chance to shine, to show themselves to the audience, to show their character. So I'm kind of interested to see this lover side of Larry D, because it's kind of like a crazy flip, you know, like to have him be romantic and going after Rosemary.
Well, you gotta remember, she put a spell on him.
That's true. And you know, watching the show, I was wondering what ring rust smells like. What does that cologne smell like? What do you think it smells like?
I would imagine it smells like armpit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. So I'm excited to see where this is gonna go. Is Rosemary gonna go for Larry D? What's Johnny Bravo gonna do? Because we did see that he kind of gave him a look when they interacted with one another.
Do you think Johnny Bravo is gonna fight Lawrence D on Wrestle House next week?
Wow, that would be an interesting match to see, because Johnny Bravo versus Larry would be really good. I would like to see him with them in the ring. I would like to see Johnny Bravo get his ass beat
But aside from getting his ass beat, what's gonna happen with Johnny Bravo and Rosemary?
And we also got a new story. There is a mystery in Wrestle House. Someone is drinking the beers. Who's drinking the beers? The Deaners are very mad and they're gonna get down to the bottom of it. I'm pretty excited to know who's drinking the beers. Like, who could it be?
I have no idea. I was trying to think who was on Wrestle House the previous weeks that we haven't seen this week. And the only person that came to mind was Tommy Dreamer.
That's true. Tommy Dreamer didn't come out in Wrestle House this week. Did he drink the beers? And is he drunk? Was he drunk when Wrestle House was happening? That's why we didn't see him. Because I'm so used to him coming out and saying, match time! So, where was he? This is where we needed him. In this match of Taya versus Kylie. We needed his little catchphrase. But we'll have to see who's drinking the beers. Heck, maybe it's Johnny Bravo drinking the beers because he needs that courage to talk to Rosemary.
Maybe. Another match we saw on Emergence Night 1, Chapter 1, Part 1, whatever you want to call it, was Moose versus Trey Mcgill. And as much as I'm a Rascals fan, you know, for the little jokes and giggles, we got to see Trey get his butt handed to him at the hands of Moose.
It was an aggressive match. I feel Trey really came out and gave it his all, but just Moose is just so much more bigger than him. I feel like he just got dominated.
Well, my prediction came true that the size advantage was gonna be in Moose's favor.
Definitely, yeah. And Trey took a big hit when he got slammed into the rail, and he even got powerbombed on the ring. Like, you really heard that. So
yeah, Trey took a couple of big hits, you know, up when he was in the turnbuckle and he fell. It kind of looked like he kind of fell the wrong way and he actually got hurt because he landed, I don't know if you guys noticed, but where he landed, there was none of that thick padding that they put on the sides of the ring. He fell like right on the corner and that corner was not protected. After that, I actually noticed he had like a red mark on his back, I'm assuming from the fall. Another thing, you know, Trey gave it his all. He always does. It was a good match. Before we get to that match, I will say I think this match had more momentum than the actual main event. But we'll talk more about that later. So for now, I wanted to comment on the fact that you guys remember when Tessa Blanchard would fight against Sami Callihan and they would do that move where Sami would pick her up by the legs and like bang her head onto the side rail? Well, I don't know if you guys remember, like Tessa was really good. She would always cover up her face when she was in that position. Because you know, as an athlete, as a human being, you always got to remember, cover your brain. You know, you don't want to end up brain dead. One thing I did notice about Trey was he failed to cover up his head and protect his head during that move. And Trey, you got to be more careful, man. We don't want to see you lose your career because of little mistakes like that.
I feel really bad for Trey that he didn't pick up a victory. I kind of wanted him to win just to see what he would do, just to see what push he would get. But I'm pretty sure he'll have more opportunities. I'm wondering if we're going to see Moose bring up the fact that he didn't go up against Suicide. He went up against Trey. So we'll see if
I mean, I'm sure Moose doesn't care who he goes up against. He just wants to defend his TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
That's true. And how about that plot twist we got? We had EC3 show up after the match and attack Moose.
Well, I wouldn't call it so much as a plot twist because if you guys saw our predictions before, I kind of predicted that EC3 was going to have something to do, whether it be at the end of the match or before the match. So I gotta say, I totally saw that one coming. What I didn't see coming was him picking up the title and walking out of the arena with it.
Man, that just goes to show you that EC3 means business. He's here to claim titles. He's here. He's finally showed up in the ring.
But has he had an actual match yet?
He hasn't, so I'm very excited to see that he's finally there. He's not, you know, we didn't get a promo, you know, just a simple video. We actually got him in the impact zone and I hope he stays there. And I can't wait to see what mind games he's gonna play with Moose. What is Moose gonna do? He's gonna be very upset next week, and you know, I can't wait to see what promo he's gonna cut, who he's gonna attack. You know, because I'm pretty sure Moose is mad that the title was stolen from him.
Which brings up a good question. How about we do this question of the day? What do you guys think are EC3's intentions with the TNA World Heavyweight Champion? What do you think?
Man, I think he's gonna burn that title because it's a prop.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that because I wasn't thinking that he would burn it. I was thinking more like he would say, all right, Moose, if you beat me, you keep this, and if I beat you, then this prop goes back on the shelf. That's kind of what I was thinking. Because, I mean, what would EC3 do with the TNA World Heavyweight Champion? I mean, EC3 hasn't made a statement on whether he believes it's a prop or an actual championship.
I'm going to give this match a thumbs up because it was
Trey
a good match.
His all.
And we got some good developments. Heath is still cutting his promos in the back. He's still trying to get hired. And I wish we would have seen him in a match. I wish we'd have seen more of him. But I'm really digging this campaign type of style that he's using. It's relevant to today, you know, that we have elections taking place pretty soon. So I really like how he's using that in his little, you know, backstage skit, trying to get hired. And I can't wait to see what he's gonna do, where he's going with this. I'm excited to see these little promos. Even though they're short, they're good. And Brian Meyer, you know, I kind of like seeing how he was aggressive with the commentator in the back, because, you know, last week he lost against Eddie Edwards and it kind of made him look weak. You know, he lost during his debut. So I really like how he's trying to pick up the pieces and trying to show everyone, hey, I'm not a loser. I'm aggressive and I'm here to take what's mine. I'm here to earn my position.
But apparently he took the spotlight from the wrong person, because Willie Mack sure came back with his Mack attack.
Yeah, Willie Mack definitely did not like that he was interrupted when he was getting interviewed. So now we got a match next week. It's going to be Willie Mack against Brian Myers, and I'm excited to see how this is going to go.
Yeah, you know, I don't know who's going to come out on top on that one, because we have seen Willie Mack losing as of lately, unfortunately, you know. And I also know Brian Myers has lost his only match on Impact so far. So it's going to be a crucial match for both of these people, since they both just had a loss in their last match.
And now let's move on to a match I was really looking forward to. It was Ace Austin and Madman Fulton against the Good Brothers. And I gotta say, I'm disappointed with this match. Maybe it's because the Good Brothers, I feel like they just dominated so much, majority of the time. And I was going for Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. So it could be that I'm kind of disappointed because they lost. But, you know, this past weeks, we've seen Ace Austin get in the head of the Good Brothers. And I feel like the match just didn't deliver. Like, something here happened that Ace and Madman didn't give it their all. You know, they got dominated. The truth, you know, that's the truth. And they lost. And I'm pretty upset.
Yeah, the Good Brothers, you know, I'll be honest, I think Ace is just becoming less relevant. You know, he's getting pushed down, you know, he's just kind of being like a side story. Like, if you ask me, there was no real reason for this match in the first place, other than just because he wanted to, you know, be cool or whatever, make a point or whatever, which he ended up losing. I'll give it to the Good Brothers though. They work very strategically on making sure that the other partner was down so that they can pin when the time was right. They had Madman Fulton distracted. They threw him over the other side of the rail, so it would take him a while to get back to the ring, and they pinned Ace. I think Ace needs to find something to do to stay relevant, and, you know, to be have a more dominant storyline on Impact.
One thing I did enjoy was I did like seeing when Madman went up against Gallows, because these are two big competitors. So when they were going up against each other, that was one point in the match where I did see that they were both giving it their all, and I really liked it because Madman Fulton showed what he had to offer, you know? He's not just a sidekick, he's not just Ace Austin's lackey, he really has something to contribute. And I really like how when Gallows was in the ring, it seemed like Madman Fulton was in the ring. So it was equal. And I really like that. Same with Ace Austin and Luke when they were in the ring. You know, they're both the same size, so they were both in the ring at the same time when they were going up against each other. So I really like how it seemed like the size of these two men went into effect, and it helped make the match better. So I hope to see more of Gallows and Madman Fulton because they look like two good dominant beasts in the ring.
I think we might definitely see more of them in the ring. However, I don't think they're gonna waste time fighting Ace and Fulton. I think they've got a bigger target in their mind. I think they eventually will work their way up and be the #1 contenders for the tag team champions against the Moreira Machine Guns.
I'm gonna give this match a thumbs down because I didn't like seeing Ace get beat. And
I'm gonna give it a thumbs up because I like the way that the team of the Good Brothers work together to take down Fulton, and I think that's really important in tag team division. Now, speaking of the tag team division, this brings us up to the main event, which was another tag team match, which was the North getting the rematch against the Moreira Machine Guns to try and reclaim what they had for over a year, none other than the tag team champions. They blew it. They totally blew it.
the North lost, and wow, man, I don't like seeing them lose because, you know, for a whole year we saw them dominate the tag team scene. Competitor after competitor, they kept winning and winning. So for me, it's so weird to see them lose because, you know, they were on top of their game before and now they're at the bottom. They're taking these losses and I don't like that. I don't like seeing it, especially because right now I'm not really a huge fan of the Motor City Machine Guns. We haven't really been too introduced to them. Their character hasn't really been shown to us, the fans. So the match was good though. I will say the match had some good back and forth moments. I do feel like they both laid it on the line in the ring. So it wasn't just like a one-sided match, and I really like that. I really like that I was engaged. And there was moments where I really thought the North was gonna win, but there was moments where the Motor City Machine Guns were gonna win. So I really like that the action was good. They have some good in-ring chemistry.
About 1 hour before Emergence streamed on Twitch and on Access TV, Impact uploaded on their Instagram page a photo that basically compares the Motor City Machine Guns with the North. And I think this is definitely something that Impact failed, because this rivalry would have been all that much more greater if they would have implemented these facts on their promos. So really quickly, the Instagram post says Motor City Machine Guns has 2 reigns as Impact World Champion. So I guess this is going to be their 3rd now. They've been 14 years as a tag team, and their longest reign as the Impact World Tag Team Champions in the past was 210 days in a row. Now, looking at the North, they were the longest ever reigning tag team champions for Impact. They have 9 years as a tag team champion, and they had 383 days, which is almost 200 days more than the Motor City Machine Guns. Now, Impact, I think if you would have implemented these facts into the characters' promos, into the promos of the tag team champions, that would have created a greater rivalry between the Motor City Machine Guns and the North. I don't know why they just chose to release this info on social media versus on TV.
And I really like that you bring that up because you're completely right. They should have put these facts, these statistics on the show before the match. They should have had Josh Matthews and Madison Rayne talk about it, talk about the facts, the data, the wins, how many years they've been together, and it would have added more to the match. And they completely dropped the ball. I mean, I understand that, you know, they're experiencing a huge rush in social media and a lot of people are watching it, but they should have put this stuff on the show. Hopefully, you know, they talk about it next episode or they bring it up at some point, but these facts are very important and they would have added to the backstory of the two competitors.
A good time to have taken advantage to like boast about these statistics was, I believe it was last week, when the Motor City Machine Guns were inside the ring talking about the North, when the North kind of came out and then they didn't fight, but they had their little debate. Instead of just being laid back and like, yeah, we beat you, so what, the Motor City Machine Guns could have said stuff like, well, we have been champions 2 times in the past, so it was kind of obvious that we were going to beat you. You know what I mean? They could have used it like that. And this is information that they just let it go to waste. Because there's people who might watch the show who might not be on social media. Overall, this match, it was not main event material. I didn't like that there was no momentum. It was a very dry match. I think the triple threat match was better. The tag team match with Ace and Fulton versus the Good Brothers was better. It had more, you know, just because they had that rivalry, I guess. You know, this is why it's so important to build up rivalries and push out this kind of information and facts that add fire to the flame, add fuel to the flame. I gotta give this match a thumbs down. It was definitely not main event material.
I'm gonna give it a thumbs up just because I actually did like the in-ring action. I don't feel it was dry, but you know, I'll give it a thumbs up. We'll see what happens, how they pick up after this. I don't know how the North is gonna take it. How is the North gonna take it? Another loss on the record book. I'm very happy to see that the Twitch stream worked fine this week. Hopefully it continues to stay like that. Good job, Twitch and Impact, for making it happen. I was kind of worried before the show that I wasn't gonna be able to see Emergence, that it was gonna cut off halfway. So I'm happy that Twitch picked up their game and it's doing good. Make sure you guys check out our prediction video, which we're gonna be putting up, talking about next week's matches, because there's a lot of good matches that I'm excited to see. Stay tuned on YouTube. Make sure you hit the like button if you enjoyed this week's episode, and make sure you subscribe for more content. And this was The Beatdown.